This is how my restaurant destroyed my health. So working in a restaurant, you're always around food all the time. Everything is good that way. But of course, you probably eat a little bit more than you should, or, eat some, not as healthy things. But that's not how my health got so bad. When I owned my first restaurant, I ended up working 80 hours a week because I didn't have the right people. I was trying to save money, so I was doing it all myself. And I remember being, fairly young at this point, but gaining about 100 pounds. I was stressed out. Like literally, I would work for 16 to 18 hours a day. I would try and grab something for the drive-thru on the way home because let's face it, you've cooked all day. You don't want to cook again. So the only things that are open are the fast food. And so I was going in there and I was like, okay, well, I'll just grab a Big Mac on the way home or whatever the case is. So I'm doing that and I'm eating like that. And of course, when you're working that much, you're tired, you're exhausted, you're not sleeping very well. I mean, I swear I probably drank 8 cans of Diet Coke a day. I kid you not. And I wouldn't be exercising. And at that time, I used to be really jealous of the people who had time to work out, who were fit, who looked good. Like what I used to say in my brain, I would see someone going with a gym bag and be like, well, they're spending all their time in the gym. Well, I'm building a business. I was trying to make myself feel better about doing that. And it got to this point where, after years of this, I'd put on so much weight, my clothes didn't fit anymore. I was not happy with where I was. I wasn't sleeping well, I swear I got winded walking down the street at this point. I wasn't happy with who I was. I wasn't happy with my relationship. I wasn't happy with life at all with owning my business. Because again, I put everything to the business and I put me second. Business first, me second, and then everything else was beyond that. That just wasn't a way to have a life. One of the things that ended up making the change, is that every time I looked in the mirror, I didn't like the person I saw staring back at me. This isn't good. I hate it. But then I put that to the side and I, went to work and I did my thing. What ended up happening is I ended up having a doctor visit and the doctor was going to basically prescribe some medication to me because my blood pressure was through the roof. Like I remember having my blood pressure tested and they tested it 3 times because they couldn't believe that someone that was my age was having this blood pressure problem. So they were literally about to prescribe the blood pressure medication that my grandparents take. And here I am, I'm in my 20s. I think that had I continued on without any changes, who knows if I would have made it to 40 or 50, who knows? Just the way I was living. I don't know if that would have actually happened. I ended up going on a health journey after that. Then I ended up losing that 100 pounds. And I'll show you this picture here. There we go. You can kind of see it. So that's 2 versions of me. And basically, when I owned my first restaurant, I was still going to school at the same time. So that's me with a graduation photo because I was literally working, from 10 a.m. until 7 p.m. Then I would run to campus from 7 p.m. until 10 p.m. And then I would come back and I would work 10 p.m. until 3 a.m. because we closed at 3 a.m. every day. So literally I was doing that and going to school at the same time. So there was no time for anything else. So I just ended up destroying my health doing that. And the thing that I want to tell you, and that if I had to go back and do it again, I would say that your business isn't worth your health. I would say that if I could look back, there's a different way to do things. The only way that I knew how to do things at that time was to do it all myself, to work more, to work harder, to somehow just brute force make this happen because I didn't know the different things that I should be doing. I didn't know how to hire the right people. I didn't know how to manage my finances. I didn't know how to put the right systems and procedures in place. If you're in a place where you're like that and you don't have the time for your family, you don't have time for your health, you don't have time for anything else with the business, there is a different way. And that's what I had to learn, is how to do the things that allowed me to have both a business and a life at the same time. I never want anyone to go through that same struggle again. The doubt and the self-confidence issues I had, I hated myself for a long time. And I don't want anyone to have to struggle with that again, because there's a better way. You don't have to work 80 hours to have a successful business. That's one way that you've been able to do it, but there's other ways. And so if you're in that place, please reach out, because there is a different way. There is a better way, and you can actually have the life and the health and the family life and all of those things that you want all at the same time. And after I learned how to do that, that's what allowed me to create this company that helps people do exactly the same things that I've done. So if you're in that place, don't be afraid to reach out for help, because it can get better. And there's no reason that you should look in the mirror and hate the person that stares back at you. And there's no reason that your restaurant should be responsible for that. All right, guys. We'll chat soon.